three. Right, good afternoon, good afternoon. So, yes, very exciting. So, good afternoon, welcome Monday afternoon. Well, we're now August 2021, and I've actually the pleasure of talking to Ash today. So, let me tell you a bit about. So, Zuko obviously is all about online networking, and Ash and I have never met. We've never networked in person before. Ash's connection is a little bit unstable, so we'll have to have a second and see how we get on here. Okay. I met Ash online, and Ash is all about mobile apps, technology, websites and stuff. And you're currently in Malaysia, aren't you, Ash?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Right. Was that Ash? Tell me about your networking journey. How much networking have you done to date?
Well, the whole networking journey. Well, thank you for having me. First of all, Nick. It's a pleasure to talk to you. The networking group. So networking journey has been, I think great so far. I mean, of course, this is a fairly new for me on the virtual networking because my way of networking prior to the pandemic is more on the, face to face, going to exhibitions, expos, and and of course having that face to face interaction with people. Since the pandemic has hit, I mean, earlier this year we've started to adopt. I mean, not particularly last year, but this year. I mean, and hence how I know, I called you, I mean, on a run basis, with your lovely message. I mean, I think that really attracts me. I mean, that differentiates yourself to other group networkers. I mean, so that's his
all right. So tell me about your position within the company, because obviously it's a decent sized company. You do 101 different things. So tell me your role within the company.
I am the first and foremost, I was on the corporate myself. I'm the director of the business development for Synverse. And we have the operation set up the office in Synverse, Malaysia. I mean, so what we are trying to do now, because we're trying to penetrate South Asia. I mean, not particularly this year. I mean, now I'm trying to penetrate back the UK. We've started. Set up the office in 2017. Abroad. I started out in the UK. And we decided, me and the partner, I mean, I'm not the founder, but I'm one of the key decisions in the company, looking after South Asia as well as the UK.
Oh, wow.
So we have also our offshore development that's in Hyderabad, India. That's where our, because with the software house, we have a high overhead. So, how we can do things with the support team. And then, of course, the rest of other teams as well, largely in India, in Hyderabad, India. So that's how we can do things cost effectively.
Okay, so business development manager. Now, have you heard of the expression low hanging fruit?
Yes, I have. I mean,
Okay, and what would you describe as your Synverse's low hanging fruit?
Well, particularly, I mean, in what context? I mean, is that a business context?
Well, the business, absolutely, yeah. I mean, your kind of bread and butter, your kind of work that you get kind of constantly, and you can kind of do it in your sleep. Is that websites or mobile apps or what is it?
I would say a bit about, because these three ranges of these core services, which is web development, mobile apps, end-to-end mobile apps, and as well as e-commerce solutions. Because people don't just come to us, I mean, on just a website, because we started off with website, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so companies come to you and they look for their whole digital presence. Okay.
Yeah, they do tend to get us to package them, the whole services for them, IT solutions. So
okay.
Yeah.
And when it comes to website, do you design, develop, and publish the whole works?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Synverse does it. I mean, Synverse does it. I mean, of course, we formerly known as Synverse Limited. I mean, so yes, we do, from understanding the requirement, getting the requirement, we design the stuff from scratch, and of course, the whole architecture, the look and feel, how it's meant to look at this color scheme as well, the whole customer journey from getting onto the URL link, the website, or whether it's it's a login page, all the way down to a contact us inquiry form. So yes, and we also do support the application.
Okay. And so yeah, the whole mobile apps, it all works seamlessly. You got a website, you got a mobile app, it all looks the same.
Yeah.
It all works the same. It all connects with each other, kind of thing.
Yes, it's just a mobile web friendly. I mean, because there are three different types of I'll try to do a bit of a layman terms here. I mean, like native apps, hybrid, and then as well as PWA, which is the progressive web apps. I mean, where you develop on a website, it will all be reflected on the mobile apps. So that's per se. I mean, so we do all the storyboard, client usually provide us the storyboard of the mobile apps, how they want it to go. I mean, the customer journey. So that's exactly.
I wish I was young like Ash. I tell you, wish I was young and dynamic like Ash and all the technology. I love it. I love the technology. I was a little bit older than you. A little bit older than you. You work. I mean, you work between London and Malaysia, do you?
Yes, I mean, prior to COVID, I mean, I do travel quite a bit. I mean, to Kuala Lumpur. I mean, the capital of Malaysia, and then so yes, London, Kuala Lumpur, yes.
And you have a family in England, in Liverpool.
Yes,
So
yes,
even more traveling. Crikey.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough time. I mean, right now it's a difficult time for everybody. With the whole quarantine, and then of course, the challenges of testings, and then things that you have to adhere to the rules.
Yeah, got you. I know you talk about the mobile apps. I mean, there was a time a few years ago when everyone went mobile app crazy. They seemed to think having a mobile app was the answer to everything. You're a company, you have a mobile app and you kind of arrived or something. And most of these mobile apps were pretty pointless. They took you to a website on a browser, so they're pretty pointless. So so they died out. Who are your kind of typical clients? I mean, who need, who are your typical clients? Who uses mobile apps properly, do you think?
Well, our ideal clients are, we have, it's mainly corporate businesses, at least, I mean, company or businesses that's been trading from, I would say, ranges 3 to 5 years, staff that maybe ranges from, 50 staff, or perhaps maybe if you downsize that, maybe 25 staff and above, because it has to be a bit of sizable company as well. But again, I don't undermine, I mean, the small businesses, startup businesses, they might be, back with, large funding, and of course, I mean, so that's ideal. I mean, how we are positioned, we have built for, of course, like corporate clients like the solicitors, in South Asia. We've also done for accounting, taxi companies in London, before Uber even shoots off, I mean, to IPOs. So we have done e-commerce as well, e-commerce sectors. So we have done a couple of, number of, mobile apps,
Oh, so you could produce a mobile app for a taxi company. Someone needs a taxi. I mean, they hit the app, they tell them where they are, they find the location, and they book a taxi through the app. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the geofencing, and as you can see where the pin drops, I mean, that's very key and important to have that expertise and skill. So it has to be seamless. Mobile app has to be really seamless because it supports, it really helps, and then businesses, it reduces costs as well, as much as the added value tag that is reflected in the business.
Okay, and so other than websites and mobile apps, I think we all understand websites and mobile apps. You get involved in a lot of other complicated high-end stuff, don't you? Software development, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, e-commerce solution for enterprise. Yes, it can get very complex as well. But yeah.
So people come to you with a problem, basically. They come to you with a problem that technology can solve, and so you then look to solve the problem using technology. Is that right?
Yes, that's right, Nick. I mean, I'll give one example. We've done for one medical client, for overseas client again. I mean, in a pharmaceutical, where they are more onto, I mean, their initial focus on the rehabilitation center. Where they've got a system. And after time, of course, this will be a good project case study for us. They've got a 2 standalone system where you got accounting and as well as medical systems. So what we do, what I then did, I mean, advise them and consult them. Look, I mean, you are now you're not in your startup phase of your business. You're not in the first year of trading in a business, and now you need to automate the business. Now, what you need now is the integrated solution systems. So what we call an enterprise solution. So what we do now, and then we come up with we develop a one system, one huge system where we come up with a user management, billing, invoices. There's the inventory, features, and of course, I mean, digital consultation hours for any, well, obviously, I mean, for their specialists, I mean, to conduct any orthopedics, because, like I said, is a rehabilitation center. So that was a success, of course. I mean, that's one of a significant project that we've done.
And how long has Synverse been trading?
Well, in a nutshell, we've been trading since 2008. And obviously, it was formerly known as Synverse Limited. And of course, with different partners. until I stepped in 2016. It's a bit in between 2016 and 17. And to 17, of course, that's when I, decided, came up with the idea, why don't we expand the reach, not just solely focus on UK, as UK market, as you know, is saturated, so, and then of course, there's a lot of players as well. I mean, everywhere you go, it's just a lot of players. That's how business is. Without competition, there's no business, So that's how, our business is defined.
Okay, and I mean, don't worry, it's a decent sized business. How many employees do they have in total?
Well, we have trimmed quite a lot. If I'll be honest, we have trimmed fair. About 30 to 40. Staff. We were initially about slightly over 100 staff. Across the board. Yeah, we in India, largely, like I said, in India, in Malaysia, and as well as UK. We maintain a small team, relatively small team, business analysis. It's a business development billing arm in Malaysia and as well as UK. Of course, we do, as per the requirement, we do keep on the staff. We do maintain staff, fairly small number in the UK and Malaysia, because we do outsource our staff as well. Where I said we'll outsource our resources, whether they're junior or developers. So we do that. But of course, since the pandemic or prior to pandemic, we haven't quite got, companies that needing, because they would rather hire their own developers and train. But then again, that can be a wrong move. Because to train the staff, to get the right skills and develop the right skills, it will not happen overnight. Hence why the cost will be, a lot more effective if you outsource it to, to any software development house.
And are there any other aspects of the company that you wish to talk about? Any other arms of the company?
Aspect in terms of
well, are there any other? I've seen your website. Your website is a very complex and detailed website, but there seems to be lots of other parts of the company. Are there any other income generating parts of the company that you
well, we do SEO, of course, as a package, because doing a website and then e-commerce, it doesn't really make sense. If you don't opt for the digital marketing and then want to optimize doing the indexing and then geographical location, identifying your competitors, but then again, doing that again, developing an SEO or running, carrying out an assignment with SEO must be based on how your website is developed. Website has to be per the standards, SEO standards, because otherwise it won't, the backlink and then on all that other stuff, may not jive. And of course, we also do POC, what we call POC, proof of concept, where if a company, oftentimes, I would say medium-sized or large corporate would come to us and then get us to build a POC, a proof of concept, before a product can actually be developed. So there's like a testing beta where if it's a mobile app, a taxi company, it could be a recruitment portal, where they want a POC or or I would say a replica, of a product. So that's particular. That's another way of like us getting an income stream. But then again, it's a tough time for us. I must be honest. It's not. I know many out there would think, okay, IT is in a favor. Yes, the demand is there, but then again, it should also come with the funding. With a signed business deal. Where, because if a company is not generating enough, if they are struggling themselves in their sectors, then obviously there will be a knock-on effect on businesses like us, to secure a deal. Yeah.
And things like SEO. It's a complicated subject. I understand that. And so you're happy to talk to clients with their own websites. You just have SEO packages, do you?
Yeah. SEO package, yes. We don't take on client just for 1 month, because it doesn't make sense. We don't just take clients' money. So it's essentially it has to be like within 6 months to 1 year, and then where we can because SEO is it's a development. It's an assignment in itself, where you have to work on the backlinks, and then your website has to be per SEO standards, like I said. And of course, your keywords has to be really important. the right keywords, and of course, if it's really competitive, we may have to ask inquire. I mean, you to get like more keywords, across. So yeah, I mean, we do as a package, if you like. People just don't come for SEO, of course.
I'm just checking. I'm just checking the. It's gone live in our groups. We don't have any questions yet, so that's fine. I mean, you're enjoying the speed network, and you're enjoying the meetings. Have you had many one-to-ones in meetings? Have you? I mean, perhaps it's too early to think about getting any work yet, but have you had any interesting conversations, any good dialogue and conversation with Zuko members?
Yes, I have. I mean, I have quite a number. I mean, particularly, I mean, like I have talked to someone like, I mean, Alessandro, of course, John Wiggles, I mean, Diane, of course, Lorraine as well.
Mark Rouvray, yes.
Mark Rouvray, yes, of course, yes. Jack Brass as well. But I'm a Kia. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think quite a number of them as well. Is it Stephanie? Yeah.
Steph Sullivan,
yes.
yeah. What are Synverse's plans for the future? I mean, do you have any? I mean, how does Synverse work as a company? Do you set long-term goals, long-term plans? What are your thoughts?
Well, we do. We always have that. I mean, where because right now we can't do. I mean, much of a pre-sales in a sense. I mean, because obviously there's been a bit of challenge as well as a company. I mean, in terms because we have to be fair, I mean, like trimmed down quite a number of staff, and then so long-term goals is like to secure deals. I mean, you see, we are not looking for a number of clients. We're looking for good clients. I mean, not the value that we're looking for. It's a long-term relationship that we're looking for. That's ultimate goal where you can get, of course, more businesses from the same.
It's the best way to be with a company. Absolutely. It's the best way. New comments here. Okay, so we talk about mobile apps, we talk about websites, we talk about IT software infrastructure and stuff. Any other parts of the business we haven't talked about yet?
Well, we do support maintenance, if you like. I mean, we do support maintenance. Yes. Of course, whatever product we develop, we help maintain as well. That's on our monthly commitment. Because oftentimes, I mean, business owners or small businesses, I would say, do not want to have the headaches. I mean, to maintain. And of course to update, do the marketing. Update events, and then if they have, I mean, or maybe change up the galleries, and then portfolios, and then what they have. So yeah, we do help maintain businesses.
Good. Have you been looking forward to this chat? I mean, how do you feel about chats on Facebook Live? Are you quite relaxed about it?
Well, it's not something that I usually do. It's not something that I'm I'm always being put on live. But yeah, I mean, that's it's always it's always a first time for everybody.
Exactly.
So it's all about just embracing it. I mean, just without thinking, you just you got to be really impulse, and then and just do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the important thing, of course, is to be open about this kind of stuff. I believe there's a question in the Facebook group, if I can find it. My phone's playing up a bit at the moment. Okay, here's a good question. So yes, Justine asks, what has been your favorite project to work on?
Favorite project to work on? Certainly could be. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, mobile apps and integrated solutions, integrated systems. I love a complex project. If you like, because it will give you the satisfaction of it's worth the time that you spend, and then of course with the return, and then because again, it can be really a pain. Of course, I mean, dealing just with simple website, if you like, and then with the amount of time that you have to go back and forwards, and then and to develop it, to customize it. I mean, so yeah, I live a complex environment. I mean, but of course that can also give you a headache as well. As much as the return is. I mean,
Yeah, so, no. I love a mobile, and I can see the sense of having a Zuko mobile app, because obviously I have information. People want to find out when the meetings are, how to book into meetings, where the Zoom links are. And so you could easily create a very simple mobile app with all the information there. So people know they want to find out when Zuko's on, hit the Zuko app, and all the information there. I know it's easy to read, but I don't understand sometimes the difference between taking me to a website or in reading within the app. I don't really understand the difference. Perhaps you and I need I mean, when you're in London next time, give me a shout and we'll get together and have a proper one-to-one over coffee, okay?
Of course. I mean, yes.
But I mean, I do love them. But I've seen a news company who bought the mobile app for the sake of it, and the idea was great. I remember one network and organisation in particular bought a mobile app, and it was just a shambles. It was just rubbish. Okay, you clicked on it. It didn't solve the problem. There wasn't a problem. There was something they could have made easier, but it just didn't solve the problem at all. Okay. So the information wasn't clear to read. It didn't take you anywhere. Okay, and other mobile apps I've seen just take you to websites on your browser and a phone. So what's the point of that? But I do think there could be some discussion about getting together, having a Zuko app, mobile app, possibly. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, do you not feel sometimes mobile apps are a bit of a vanity project?
In what sense?
I mean, sometimes people think, "Oh, I've got a mobile app. My company's got a mobile app. Look, it's got its own logo. It's got its own mobile app." And yet, as I said before, it doesn't solve a problem. It's just a mobile app for the mobile app's sake.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, that's simply, I would say, I mean, just if a client, I mean, or business is not understanding how mobile app can be very scalable, how much it can help, then of course it will be a shambles. I mean, it's really important to understand why you're needing the mobile apps. How much you can generate, because you can. Mobile apps is a add-on value tag, a tool where you can actually, I mean, promote, I mean, your business even more. I mean, and of course, I mean, providing a convenience is a powerful way to connect. And of course, I mean, because given that we are in this mobile, I mean, era, I mean, where we're always on the go, whether you've got families, number of businesses, it provides a seamless. I mean, it takes your pain and convenience. I mean, it has to be really seamlessly developed. That's very important. Otherwise, it defeats the purpose of investing in mobile apps.
It's a very good answer, Ash. A very, very good answer. You mentioned the 3 types of apps. Okay, just tell us again about the three different types of mobile apps. And you need to talk for the simple man, i.e., me. Okay, I mean, I'm good with my technology. We need to bring it right down. Okay, so tell me about the 3 different types of mobile apps.
Well, okay, the 3 types of these mobile apps, I would combine these 2. I mean, there are 3, I would say, which is PWA, which is progressive web apps. You've got native apps, and as well as you've got hybrid apps. So I'm gonna marry this a hybrid and native together, as it takes a longer time and a lot more investment for you to put in as a client, and then or us as a software house to develop. So what the simplest, I would say, the simplest, the layman terms of like explaining what the difference of PWA, the progressive web apps, as well as both native and hybrid apps are. See, when you develop a PWA, whatever, say, like if I develop something for Zuko, so whatever updates or any changes that is reflected on the website or that is taking place on the website, it will be reflected on the mobile apps. So hence your investment are only solely focused on one platform, where you just focus on the web and it will reflect on the mobile apps. Now coming to native and hybrid apps, where you have to handle both iOS and Android mobile apps, and as well as you've got the backend system, the middleware where you have to develop. So hence the investment will be a lot more than developing a PWA. So that's it. Will be the layman terms I would explain here.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I've got it. So if people want to contact you, what is the? I mean, you have a Synverse got a decent website, obviously. I'll put the Synverse website up on underneath this chat. Okay. What's the best way for people to contact you for one-to-one or just to find out more?
If I'm abroad, like I said, I'm always on the go. We do Skype a lot. Skype, Cisco, WebEx, Zoom, Google Meet as well. We are open to any medium of communication.
Okay, but you personally, your email address. Remind me what your email address is.
It's ash.sofian at synverse.com.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I've got both my numbers, my of course a UK number, and as well as my Malaysian local number.
All right. Good.
On WhatsApp on the speed dial, yes.
All right. Well, we will wrap up this call now. And I said, no, I mean it's gone in a flash. It really has. I mean, I appreciate your line has been good, so that's good. I'm pleased with that. So I mean, it's a pleasure. I'm glad you joined Zuko. I mean, networking is a bit like SEO in some ways. Networking is not something that can be done quickly. Networking takes time. You need time to build relationships. Okay, yours is, like it or not, Ash. Okay, you might find it uncomfortable to hear, but yours is a complex industry. You have a complex business, so it takes time to understand your business. Okay, so you have to keep one-to-ones. I've said it many times. Just because people have heard what you do 4 or 5 times does not mean they understand it. Sometimes you need to hear it 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 times, or sometimes the penny drops. And there's obviously lots of different strings to your company. So as I said, you have lots of one-to-ones, everyone and anyone, okay? I know it's time, but you can do it on Zoom or Teams or Skype or WhatsApp or whatever. So have plenty one-to-ones. But no, it's been a pleasure chatting to you today, Ash. It really has been. I love my technology. I nowhere without my phone, and I'll never ever have a holiday with my phone. I tell you,
it's just like everybody of us. I mean, each one of us now.
Well, I don't know though. My generation kicked them in, told we need to have holidays from our mobile phones and put them away and had days off. Why? I love my mobile phone. I don't drink alcohol, so why shouldn't I have my mobile phone? Blimey.
Yeah, but it does destroy. I mean, in a way of like your eye, your focus. I mean, I think I get, so yeah, it's just like I've got to probably go and eye check now. I mean, lots of time spent on the screen, if you like.
Well, it's down 5% this week. I'm down to only 7 hours a day, so it's hardly anything at all, mate. Honestly. Anyway, Ash, I really enjoyed this chat. Thank you so much. Okay, all right.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Right. Okay. Stop that, and